Oh, hey, look! They finally added the Foghorn Leghorn announcer pack to the Prestige store. The only problem is, it's 80,000 Prestige. Who has that much lying around? Who has that much lying around? You're gonna tell me. You're gonna tell. Oh, no, I'm not going on a rant. Never mind. It's in the shop if you want it for 80,000 Prestige. All right, now that we got that out of the way, we are on to today's main topic, which is, of course, more spoilers for Multiverse. We got some good things to discuss, a lot better than last week's spoilers. So, as always, I do give a fair warning in advance. We're talking about spoilers, future content coming to the game, so if you do not want to be spoiled, I always respect that. But I have given you enough chances, enough time, because we are entering the spoiler room brawl in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's start off with what I think might be the most interesting part of all the little information that we got today. So let's start with this. Fiona was being worked on at some point, or is still being worked on for Multiverses, and this should be the Fiona from Cake and Fiona Adventure Time. But before anybody gets a little up in arms about yet another Adventure Time character joining the roster, this should be, at least to my best knowledge, Fiona is going to be, or might be, some alternate or a variant, a character costume for Finn. At least to the best of my knowledge, I think that's how that was originally planned. So Fiona being an alternate costume, I think, is the way they're going about this. But Fiona, again, was being worked on at some point. And now there is a reference to their name that was found in the banned asset names list, meaning that any asset related to their name wouldn't be pushed to the client. Okay, so what is this banned asset name? What does this folder in the files of the game mean? Well, essentially, it's an asset that doesn't normally become accessible to people outside of the programmer. So it's kind of like their own forbidden spot in the game. Like people might know about it, but not a lot of people have access to this stuff. So interestingly enough, some of the characters that were on this, and I had to make this, I couldn't show the actual file of the game, so that's what gets you in trouble. So I can't really show that, but made up my own quick little mock-up. These were the names that were on the list. And interestingly enough, Wicked Witch was on there. Pickle Rick is on. So Wicked Witch is rumored to be one of the next characters coming during season 5. So I don't know how her being on here I don't know if it affects her for being a playable character in the future or not. Not sure. Pickle Rick is on here. Pickle Rick was at one point going to be an alternate costume or a variant. And then he was actually, in case you didn't know this, he was going to be turned into his own playable character, separate from Rick Sanchez. So we're going to essentially have kind of 2 Ricks on the roster, but we haven't heard anything about that. Then Fiona, like we talked about, Ruby Rose is on here. Gandalf is on here. Gandalf is on here because of the very first Multiverses leaks, over 3 years ago. There's screenshots of it, but Gandalf was going to be in, and then the whole rights issue to who owned it and who bought it and all that stuff came up, so Gandalf kind of fell into a weird spot, and he just kind of stopped being worked on. Legolas, I think is how you pronounce his name, but he's a Game of Thrones character, so that's kind of in this folder as well. And then down there at the bottom, Hulk. That would be the Incredible Hulk. Now, before anybody gets too excited about the Incredible Hulk being added to Multiverses at some point, the main reason his name is even in here is, well, at least the way that the rumors go, Player First Games, when they were first shopping the idea for this Multiverses game, they pitched it to different companies, Disney being one of them, which is why Hulk was kind of like a character that was created to kind of demonstrate what they, planned on showing to potential studios or companies or whatever to kind of get them on board. So the reason Hulk is here is not because he's coming to the game, so don't get your hopes up about that one, but it is interesting to note a couple of the characters that are on here, like Wicked Witch, Ruby Rose we've talked about in the past, Pickle Rick, what's going on with that. So very interesting name of banned assets, so who knows what becomes of this. Maybe none of these characters become playable, or heck, maybe we're surprised and all of these characters become playable. We're not quite sure, but at least this banned folder, this banned asset name folder, it exists because those characters have had work done on them previously or are currently being worked on, but they're just not being pushed out to the client. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. All right, let's continue on after all of that. So let's stick with Pickle Rick for a second, because here's another data miner telling us Pickle Rick might come back soon because a control rig was added for, well, Pickle Rick. So what does that mean? Is it Pickle Rick the character? Because as we just mentioned, Pickle Rick was at one point going to be a variant, and then he was actually going to be his own playable character. So does this mean Pickle Rick's going to be a character coming to Multiverses soon because of the control rig that was added? This is going to be me guessing here. I couldn't find anything else for additional information about this, but I'm guessing Pickle Rick is just going to be a character variant for Rick Sanchez. So any Rick and Morty fans, any Rick Sanchez fans out there, Pickle Rick might be maybe next season. Maybe he gets dropped in the Prestige store. Maybe that's what it. Maybe he's a part of a battle pass. I don't know. But Pickle Rick, it looks like he should be coming to the game hopefully soon. All right, let's switch topics from characters or character variants to stages now. And well, we got actually some good information about quite a few stages here. So up first, this person posted, Coyote Canyon and the Pinky and the Brain Lab have been added back into the files with some textures, some updates, so that's pretty cool. And this person expects those to be our next two maps. So could we be looking at the Coyote Canyon or the Acme Canyon, you know, Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner? Could we be looking at the Canyon and the Pinky and the Brain Lab to be our next two stages for Season 5? Well, maybe not, because there is a brief update to this, and the same person says, yeah, never mind. The stages are most definitely going to be Primal and Over the Garden Wall. Two stages we've talked about on the channel in other spoiler videos, but the reason that it's going to be, or most likely going to be, Primal and Over the Garden Wall stages for next season is we actually have images of the full, like it's the actual stage. It's not concept art, but again, I'm sorry, I can't show it because that's what gets you in trouble. I mention that all the time, but I have to. But they seem to be like very far along, so probably Season 5 stages, Primal, Over the Garden Wall, which is going to be pretty fun. I'm excited for Primal myself. What does that mean for their own series? Are they going to get characters added to the game in the future? We'll have to wait and see. But the other thing we can take away, if the Coyote Canyon and the Pinky and the Brain Lab have textures, possibly those could be the two stages for Season 6. I know that's quite a ways out, but we might know our next 4 stages coming to the game. And the last thing that we're going to discuss today, this is, I think it's supposed to be a hint. I didn't see the confirmation, but I think we can understand it. But the same person here posts the same 4 GIFs of Jason Momoa's Aquaman. So if you haven't heard, supposedly Aquaman's going to be one of the characters for Season 5 for Multiverses. And this apparently is going to be a alternate costume for Aquaman. We might get a Jason Momoa themed costume for him, which would be pretty cool. I know a lot of people dig the character look here, so it would be kind of fun. It's not the first time we'd have some sort of, you know, movie star playing, you know, a superhero, because we did get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, obviously, as Black Adam, so maybe this, or it looks to be that this is going to be one of the alternate costumes, and I don't think anyone would be surprised at this at all. It would be crazy if he actually voiced this one, though. That'd be kind of cool. That would be kind of worth it, though. That'd be kind of worth it. I'll be curious to see how that plays out. But for the most part, that's the update for our, well, new spoilers that we got. Much better than last week. Much more information than last week. So, that's all that I got for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed as always. I do have another video coming out tomorrow, but, well, that's tomorrow. Either way, that is it. Hope you enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.